But a major overhaul of the entire welfare system may be just around the corner. The federal government may end required minimum payments, give the states a fixed sum, and let the states run their own programs. As political reporter Greg Larson tells us tonight, one retrained recipient fears that in cutting welfare programs, the state may also be cutting some people's hope.
It was hope to give us something and to give an education, give something to where we could get into a work field to support a family by yourself.
Elizabeth Moore is back at work nearing the end of some 4 years on welfare. She took care of 2 kids on $607 a month while she got legal secretary training in a state program. If those welfare payments were any less, she says, she couldn't have taken the time for the training.
If the grants were even smaller, I probably would just went straight into whatever I could find just to live off of.
Well, we're really more focused on getting people into work and the first rung of work.
The state's director of social services says 4 years is too long, and the state needs to be careful about how much it gives out in grants.
When does the benefit level get in the way of work? Because it takes you so much in terms of what you make per hour, what you make per year, to overcome what you make on AFDC.
Anderson backs a federal block grant program where the states would get a fixed pot of federal dollars to run a program as it likes, without required minimum grants.
The block grant system ends any assurance that a needy family and children can count on help when they need it, because the money can just run out.
McKeever says block grants would allow states to cut spending so much that kids could be at risk, especially without the guaranteed minimums.
Perhaps motivate some states to make their programs as miserly as possible to, in fact, discourage poor people from being here.
Anderson says the state will help people get training for basic work, just enough so they can compete in the marketplace. But Elizabeth Moore worries they may cut too much out of basic support, slowing the escape from poverty for some women. She says welfare is something most women really don't ever want to turn to, much less stay on for long.
A lot of times I only like people to know where I'm at because of the quote-unquote name that has been put on the welfare mother. And, you know, it's like it just, and I mean, you feel terrible, you feel dirty a lot of times because of it.
The state's director of social services, Eloise Anderson, insists that the state's program using block grants, if they're approved by the federal government, is not designed to pull the rug out from under welfare recipients. She says the goal is to get people back to work and off to work more quickly. But opponents of this reform say, given the Wilson administration's form on this, cutting welfare benefits for the past 4 years, they're afraid the benefits will be cut below survival rate for welfare recipients. Anderson says she can't speculate right now because the block grants haven't been approved about how much the levels of payments would be, but she says this is an entire package of benefits and we should watch that and look at that whole picture. This debate is just heating up. Back to you.
I was going to say, Greg, we have not heard the end of this presidential politics.
It's just starting.
A big deal.
It really is.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
Republican presidential candidate Steve Forbes is expected to begin an all-out media blitz in California as early as this week. The